We live in the thing.
Nobody gonna be able to see it.
Almost.
You sure about that?
Yeah, because you said now, look at the camera. Crazy.
Yo.
Good people out there in studio land.
What's happening? We here. Sorry for the couple minutes delay. Live, we can. Let me know when you're ready.
Ready.
Y'all think? All right. Welcome. You're tuned in to Comfortably Uncomfortable podcast. I am 1/3 of your host, C. Red, and I am sitting next to
Diva J.
And right across from me is
OG.
We would like to welcome y'all back. We want to welcome y'all back to episode number 8. We back, y'all. We apologize for any delays. What we about 2 minutes late?
That's it.
Yeah, 2 minutes late. So we apologize. Y'all know how black folks.
We gotta get the light
We're on
right.
black folk time. That's all on black folk time. But we want to welcome you back. This is episode number 8. Thank you for tuning in again. We appreciate all your support. We like to start every show off with a prayer. So if you don't mind, bow your heads, get a little prayer in with us before we start off, okay? All right. Father, we humbly come before you today, thanking you for another opportunity to share our voices with the people. We ask you, Father, to let the people know that we definitely need them to share their voice as well. We need them just as much as they need us. We ask you, Father, to bless everyone that is affected by the storms that happen down in the Gulf Coast. We ask that you keep those families safe, those extended families safe, and anything that we could do, Father, put us in a position to help. We thank you, Father, for each opportunity that you give us. We ask that you continue to bless us. We ask that all these blessings in your name. Thank you. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Now, before we start off, we like to make a toast. Y'all know how we pop it off.
We
We ain't got no light either.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's make a little toast, y'all, before we get the show rolling. Y'all know how we do. We want to toast to peace and growth. Put your glasses up if you got something to drink. Peace and growth.
Peace and growth.
All right. Salud. All right. Before we get the show rolling, y'all know the show is brought to you by Circle Full Apparel. You can go to circlefulapparel.com to do all of your shopping. Got new items pretty much every month that he drops. Go check him out. Do some shopping. We got Christmas coming up, so get your orders in. Like I always tell you, look on his IG at Circle Full Apparel. Slim Vegas. What is it? Slim Vegas 1? Slim Vegas on
Vigo.
Only Vigo. Sorry about
Yes,
that.
sir.
Only Vigo if you just want to holler at him for some custom or personal things for the clothing line. But you can go to circlefulapparel.com for your orders. You see we don't have our candle lit. I had a lighter. I didn't have a lighter.
He's the lighter.
And I called myself. No, I'm sorry. But the candles that we have, Creatively Yours candles, and like I always tell y'all, is near and dear to us. This is Diva J's mother. Y'all make sure y'all shop for her. It's Creatively Yours candles, and like I always remind y'all, $16 for the can, $22 for the jar. You can return that jar and get your discount on your next purchase. And I seen she was running something too. What, it was 30-40% off?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all need to catch that.
For real.
Go to Creatively Yours and catch that sale. I think it was 30 or 40% off. But Creatively Yours candles are 100% soy candles and coconut blend candles. They are handcrafted right here in Covington, Georgia. You can actually shop. Go catch that sale I was talking about at ESTYshop/creativelyyours. You can also give her a follow on IG at Creatively Yours Candles or on Facebook at Creatively Yours Candles as well. Now, keep in mind, y'all, like I like to also remind y'all, we got social medias, YouTube, Facebook, IGs. We got our personal IGs. We would like you to follow them if you don't mind. Go to YouTube, subscribe, because again, like DJ always, we're gonna be migrating to YouTube.
Yes.
You're not gonna be able to actually get to that live.
Mm-mm.
Unless you go to YouTube.
And that's how we're going to comment,
Mm-hmm.
respond to your comments.
Interact.
Right,
Mhm.
on YouTube. So please go to
Yes.
YouTube and watch us.
Yes, and that's Comfortably Uncomfortable. Remember, uncomfortable has a K in it, y'all. Go there, subscribe, IG as well. Everything that we are mentioning to you guys, remember, will be in the description box as well. All right? Okay. Moving right along to our business spotlight. Now, you may have noticed that we got some shirts, and these shirts is pretty much the hashtag y'all see when we do videos, or whatever, and that is
Right.
actually hashtag seek growth.
Yes.
We got these shirts on today. I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of the person or the persons that the people that put this together. You can actually follow them at IG, Facebook at Crafted by Monae, and that Monae is Monae. She is the lovely young lady that handcrafted these shirts for us. Give her a follow. She does custom shirts. She has some shirts that you can choose from. I'm pretty sure she does the family reunions, church revivals, whatever. At Crafted by Monae. Now, we're going to move right on to the topic, y'all. And this topic here, as soon as I put it out there, I got a few calls, a few people hit me and was like, man, I see this all over the internet. I see this topic here all over the internet. But we're going to recap because I think this does tie into our last topic, which was generational curses. Generational curses is something that ties into this week's topic because it may be a generational curse when we talk about the end all be all of this. And that topic, guys, is, do men benefit from marriage? Do men benefit from marriage? Now, I'll put this off, and the reason I'm gonna pop it off, y'all, is I'm gonna go ahead and just be up front. I like to pull the curtain back for the people. I've never been married.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I only feel it's right that I go ahead and put my little 10 cents in and get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Because you can speak from a woman's perspective, DJ, and OG, you can speak from a man's perspective because you guys have both been in a marriage and you've lived this life. I haven't. Not when it comes to marriage. Of course, I've lived life. So I just wanted to make sure I put that out there. And for all the married people or the people that have been married, I'm gonna say my little 10 cents. I'm gonna get out the way. All right. So now, going back to the question, does marriage benefit men? Now, I'm just gonna say this. Jay-Z has a song called Family Feud. Family Feud. And if y'all haven't heard it, it's on that 444 album. Go check that out. It's called Family Feud. And what he says in there is family feuds. And he also said that we all screwed because we never had the tools. He said that in the second verse. Check that out. So I'm going to pop it off by saying that because I need us as a community to understand that nobody wins when the family feuds. Nobody. So I'm going to answer that question, y'all. And my answer to that question is, it's a two-part answer. The first part is all parties benefit from marriage when, going back to what you said, when the proper actions are taken prior to the marriage, right? All right, so I'm going to give you a couple of main points that I think, in my opinion, are those proper steps. The first one is becoming best friends with your partner. Becoming best friends with your partner. That's something that we have a lack of in our community. Second thing is, and this may just be for the men only, some women too, getting the hoe out your system. Excuse my language. Men, get the hoe out your system. And let me be a little bit more clear when I just say that, because this is for the slogans. When I say get the hoe out your system, I mean, if you know for a fact that you're not finished doing whatever you're doing in the streets with your women or whatever, don't tie this woman down because you know she's a good woman. Don't tie her down because that's part of the problem. And I'm gonna get to what I mean by that when I say part of the problem.
It was a mistake.
You're not getting that hoe out your system. You're not.
Right.
All
Right.
Here's the most important thing that we're dying from at a rapid rate. And this point here, stop having the kids before the decision is made to be a lifetime partner. I'm gonna say that one more time. Stop having the kids before the decision is made to be a lifetime partner. And the reason I say that is because the kids are our future. You hear me say that all the time. And they deserve to grow up in that balanced home, like I always say. They deserve that. And they not only deserve it if you're together, but y'all, we got to realize that they deserve it even when we're not together. Even if we have to split up, because that's personal. That ain't got nothing to do with the kids. But we can avoid all that if we go ahead and just put the marriage before the kids. We ain't got to worry about that if we do that. All right, so speaking from a man's point of view, now that I've said that and gave you the pointers, or just a couple of points of why it can benefit all. It can benefit all parties, including the kids. Now, here's the thing, though. We can benefit from marriage, but we got to realize that the divorce is not designed for benefits, right? See, that's what we run. That's what got us effed up.
Yeah.
We automatically go into a marriage or a situation thinking of the negative, what could or what if. So that's the mindset we got to get away from, because we're running from, nobody wants to get divorced.
Right.
Nobody.
Right.
But that's what you're scared of. And I'm speaking from a man's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
We are scared of losing everything. So I know we can sit here and holler as men, yeah, but she can get half of what I got, she can get alimony, this, that, and the third. You ain't gotta worry about that, dude, if you take care of them first 3 pointers I talked about. You ain't gotta worry about that. First one was become best friends with her. Because I guarantee your best friend won't do you like that. You ain't gotta worry about no alimony. You ain't gotta worry about a messy divorce. And who actually suffers the most from this? The kids. The kids suffer the most from this.
Right.
And so here's the thing about that. None of us benefit from it if the proper steps are not taken. So I kind of threw a wrench in it because it says does men benefit from marriage? Nobody benefits from it. What Jay-Z said, nobody wins when the family feuds. So us men got to get out of that mindset of, oh, she gets half of what I got. You don't have a leg to stand on when you ain't taking the proper steps. You're not taking the proper steps to even see who you're marrying. And let's just be real. Most of these marriages should have never happened. Let's just be real about that. Most of these marriages should have never happened. So I'll say this. Most of our issue, guys, because I've said all this to say this, everything stems from our approach to this. People that know me know I've always said this. We treat marriage as a community. This is how we treat marriage. We treat marriage like going into a department store, seeing that outfit on that mannequin, not trying it on. Let me get that. Take it to the house. Then try it on. Figure out it don't fit.
Don't work.
Then take it back. That's how we treat marriage. So I go back to the question. Does it benefit men? It don't benefit nobody when it's not done properly. So us men got to get out of the mindset of, oh, I'm just so scared to do this because she could take all I got. You ain't got to worry about that, man, if you take these proper steps. And this is not, what I'm giving you is my opinion, but you still can come up with your own standard to where you need to meet this. And again, I've never been married. All I can tell you is what I've witnessed and what I've observed. And these are the things that I've been seeing. Everybody getting married because what we talked about in one of them shows, I think it was episode 3 or 4, that clock.
Yep.
That clock, we get on that clock. Oh, I got to be married by such and such.
Trying to have kids.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it because we're working backwards. What the old folks say, you're hustling backwards. So I just wanted to make sure I touched on what I needed to touch on. And of course, I'm going to chime in. I want y'all to chime in as well.
On YouTube.
On YouTube, if you can, as well as we go through the show. Because, again, like I said, I've never been married before, but I'm telling you from my experiences, what I've observed through marriage. So, Diva J, I want to talk to you. I want to swing to you first. And the reason I want to swing,
I think we should go to the men first.
You think so?
I think I should be last.
You think so?
Because
the reason I'm gonna tell you why I say,
because the topic is do men benefit, so we should hear from the men first. Because I can't speak for y'all.
But you heard what I just said.
I heard that, but I still feel like the men should speak first, and I can go last.
Okay,
on this topic.
No, that's cool. No problem. OG, talk. But this is before OG goes.
Okay.
The reason I wanted you to go first, though, is because I feel that there's a wedge, there's a gap between the man and the woman. And for some of the reason I just mentioned, that's why I wanted to talk to you as far as getting your perspective on your experiences, what you observed. But just address it when it comes to you. I just want to make sure that people are clear. That's why you're here. Keep us straight, because our mentality even though it feels good, it ain't always right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, even though what we do, we think it feels good, it ain't always right. So that's why I want you to say, look, man, you ain't, if these proper steps need to be taken, this is what needs to happen in order for, I just want you to clarify things with us. But OG, talk to me, man. How do you feel about this?
Those were some cute steps you put up. You know, those,
Mm-hmm.
you're right.
Mm-hmm.
If everything, was to go accordingly that way. The problem now in reality, it don't happen that way. Everybody has a lot of people have their ulterior motives, their own agendas. And nowadays men feel that they lose in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the numbers show. Men feel that they don't have anything to gain. Men go on it. A lot of men feel that they don't be heard. A lot of men feel that they're not appreciated. A lot of men feel that they're not respected. So it's like, why? Ladies, I'm just telling you from the man. Don't kick me. I'm just telling you from the man. That's how they feel. That's how some of us feel. So marriage is not per se a plus for a lot of men. They do stand to lose the most. They actually the only one a lot of times that really loses in a marriage, especially financially, especially when it's parenting, you name it, everything. They got to give up the house. They got to give up cars. They got to give up pensions, retirements, whatever, 401ks. Men got to give all that up. Women don't.
Can I chime in and ask you a question on that before you move on? With that being said, because I feel you're exactly right from what I've witnessed and experienced, but how many of those situations that you're describing have been where that couple, they're not best friends? They haven't taken the proper steps. They may have been against the clock. One or the other may have. What my point is that, yeah, you're exactly right. But what I'm saying is that those marriages may be null. That was null and void from the jump.
No, that's not true. But I'm gonna tell you in a lot of cases. Matter of fact, two people I know been married for over 25 years, not divorced. So you can't tell me somebody that's been married for 15 years on up or 10 years on up that they didn't really start from ground zero, that they didn't start from ground zero. Let me say that. Right. Like if they wasn't friends, for you to be with somebody 10 years, there has to be something there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference to where if I just met you year one and then I'm married you for year one and we divorced year 2 or 3. If I've been with you a certain time, I've grown to learn you, you've grown to learn me. We've grown to bond together, especially if we done did 25 years. But what happens is a lot of times people start to grow apart. And a lot of that growing apart is one party or the other is, let's just say, starting to move different or see life different or want different, and in return, not necessarily communicating with the other party. So it's confusing the other party. They don't know what's what. So it's creating conflict in the house, because that's where the communication comes to what we go through, whether it's men or women, there's a change going to come in each and every one. We done been together that long, we're not going to stay the same individual. Grow. But the problem is when one party grows, the other person don't necessarily grow at that same time.
At that same pace.
At that same pace or at the same time. So that creates that. And then when that comes into play and then that marriage is off, that's when men feel they lose. I was just at the University of Miami game. We were just talking, a couple of guys, they were just talking, and one guy was saying how he was 20 years. He was just saying it was time. That was it. It was just time. And some people see it like that. You know. But back to your question, men do feel that they lose. Men feel there's nothing to gain. That's why a lot of men are not rushing to get married. It's that trust. It's that kind of to where if I come in, put all of this in, let me say this. A lot of men feel in a marriage that they bring more to the table. So by they feel that they bring more to the table, that they're going to stand more to lose. Some people marry that way. Don't get me wrong. Some people marry that way. Some people marry where the man, he's the financial breadwinner. He brings this and he brings that, and it's cool. But in that instance, in that case, that man will lose. So nowadays, I'll be honest with you.
You're saying if he's the primary breadwinner,
he's the primary breadwinner.
He's just to make sure they understand. You're basically saying the primary breadwinner is in place to lose if we were to split.
Yeah, if we were to split, he's in place to lose. He's basically going to lose.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you. A lot of times, it's not even the woman that's going out. It's our court system that's automatically doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not to where we're not going to point the finger and just say the women just trying to take. A lot of times you go to court and try to be peaceful as possible. These judges don't care. You're going to give her this, you're going to give her that, you're going to give her this. It's unfair. So, yeah, men feel that it's an unfair reunion, when you bring two together, because if something was to transpire, I'm the only one on the back end with nothing. A man basically has a start over.
Right.
And if you look at marriages, honestly, a lot of times, it is the man, because the woman gets to, let's say, keep the house if she wants the house. Yeah. The kids got to stay there. So this man has to move out. He whether has to get an apartment or go rent a home. He basically has to start from scratch. Now, I would say this. Nowadays, men are moving a little differently. Mm-hmm. Men are not basically looking for women that they just want to take care of. What I mean by take care of, meaning that they just, let's say, the sole provider or the one that got to carry everything. Men now are looking for women to basically bring something to the table as well. Because if you go back, a man will marry a broke woman any day. Any day. If he loves her, he don't care what she got. He'll marry her. But men nowadays are changing. That's not what they're looking at. They're looking at what you bring to the table as well, because if we do split, I'm not going to be the one to just lose it all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To where you going to have something, I'm going to have something, to where you ain't going to want me to touch yours, I ain't going to want you to touch mine, and we can just break even.
Let me ask you this. I'm glad you said that, OG. Going back to a couple of points you made, and the first one I made about being best friends. Do you feel, though, and you can speak from your experience as well, and DJ, you can chime in as well, but do you feel that if you become best friends with a woman, that, and I'm talking about friends, I'm talking about that I call you first when something good or bad happens, best friend type thing. Do you feel, though, if things get to that point where we split, that it's going to end messy? Because what you just said about how men are dating different or moving different now, you're right. You're exactly right. But again, you don't have to worry about that aspect if you take care of that first thing of just simply becoming best friends with. If you do that, because again, a lot of things will fall into place. And I'm asking, do you think that things will end messy if you and that woman are truly best friends and y'all are sitting in that courtroom looking across from each other or that mediation room? Do you think she will take you down through that still?
It depends on, I'm going to say, how closed off that marriage is. Meaning that you don't have outside noise. because a lot of that dysfunction comes from outside noise,
third
parties. Because when, like you say, when a family feud, and me and Joy married, we enjoy it me and DVJ about to get a divorce. The same way I might talk to you about what's going on, same way DVJ might talk to somebody what's going on. Well, who's to say who's in my ear is going to talk to me correctly, or who's in her ear going to talk to her correctly?
That's true.
That person in her ear can entice, the same way the person in my ear can entice. We can say we're going to be cool, we're going to move through this good, but then you might say, nah, dog, hell no, if I was you, I'll go do this, do that.
I'll go for this.
I'll go for this, I'll go for that. And it might entice them, and that happens a lot of times. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it might entice, okay, well, I'm going to do that. Same vice versa, whoever in her ear might say the same thing. Well, you know what, I'm going to go, you think I can get 15 child support? I get alimony? Yeah. All right, yeah, I'm going to go after that. Yeah, I'm going to stick it to that. But now you just had a conversation with him. He good. Same way I just had a conversation with her. I'm supposed to be good. So if they don't have the outside party in their ear, like what I say, how closed off their marriage is, then yeah, it can end peacefully. It can end with both parties splits good, or it won't even have to end.
Let me say, and the reason I ask that is because we look at other races, and sometimes we'll wonder, like, dang, they just got a divorce, but the stepmom hanging out with the mom, they taking the kids somewhere. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You never see that in our community. Very rarely. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because of what I'm just saying. You can tell that there was a foundation established between those two people that started that tree. When I say that, those people that started that tree, the people that got married and had a divorce, mm-hmm. When they started that tree, there was a solid foundation built there. And I only feel, and this is my opinion, and like I said, I only can speak to a certain extent about marriage because I've never lived it, but I just feel like that best friend part eliminates so much when it comes to things ending messy. Because you're right, OG, we grow apart. We're going to change, and the person that I change into may not be the person that is compatible with you or the person you changed into. So mm-hmm. That's going to happen. But if we are best friends, I just look at things so much different because I'm not going to want to see you hurt if we're best friends. No, we're taking the relationship cap off. I'm not going to want to see you hurt. So that's why I asked DJ, what say you about, do you think that it will end messy if you're best friends with that man?
You start off that way,
mm-hmm.
but you don't end that way. Because when emotions come into play, those things change.
Change everything.
And if you're not doing what you did in the beginning, when you were dating and you first got married, if those things die, so does the friendship. So there is no best friend if I don't even talk to you anymore. We don't have pillow talk. I don't come to you. If I'm having a bad day or something's bothering me, I call a friend. I'll call you.
That's the issue, dude, right there.
No,
but
what I'm saying is, if the friendship has died,
yeah.
If we don't have that closeness anymore, I'm not calling you first.
Yeah, you ventured off.
Right. So it can't end messy. It can't end messy because now we're in a courtroom and that friendship is gone. That best friend relationship is gone. You can have one party that is, they want to be amicable. They want to make sure you co-parent. I might not like you, but we still have kids to raise.
Right.
But the other person could be being emotional. Mm-hmm. And they're like, I'm mad you left me. I'm mad I got to start over. I'm mad I have to find me someplace to live. I'm mad that we broke the family dynamic.
No matter if we're best friends.
That don't matter because there is no best friend anymore.
Yeah, it changes.
Because you're not even communicating. You're not communicating. Now there are some marriages that end where the two people are still friends, and they can go through a divorce, still have conversations, still talk, whatever. Yeah, some do end like that, but that's not the majority.
Do you think we need to switch that? Does that need to change? Because again, by it ending this way, or most of our relationships, not even just marriage, relationships in marriage is ending the way that they do. That shows that we're not doing our due diligence up front. Mm-hmm. Because like I told y'all that first couple of meetings that we had when I was like, how I love hard. And a lot of people can understand what I'm saying when I say I love hard, meaning if I grow to love you, I love you.
Right.
Don't matter how we end, it don't matter, because this is unconditional love. I'm not loving you because of what you're doing for me or what we established. I love you for you. So what I'm saying is that if I have established that and we're both loving each other that way, but prior to that, we're best friends, because like y'all always hear me say, the reason best friends are so important is because we gotta at some point take these caps off. You're exactly right by it. We're gonna stop talking to each other if things get toxic. But that's where the best friend come into play. If me and you together, DJ, and you got an issue and you're so comfortable with me where you could just come in the house and say, you know, when I put these kids to bed, we need to talk. And you know that it's gonna be a productive conversation. You know that you're talking to a man that's gonna actually listen to you, listen to every syllable, respond to you, and we're going to talk. If you got that, I feel that nothing but good things can only come from that, including a divorce. Again, I'll go back to my point. It's a divorce, y'all. It don't supposed to end. It don't supposed to benefit nobody. Because what did the vows say? To death do us part. So I look at it in my eyes, and I'm weird, but I look at it like they penalize you for breaking this breach of contract. You're breaching the contract. So I look at it like the system penalizes you. Now, OG, you're right. We take the butt end of that stick. We do. But again, most of the things we know, we knew up front. We knew we weren't best friends with this person. We knew we got married because of an ultimatum, or we got kids, or owned us to raise my kids. All that. We knew that. So when things hit the fan, it shouldn't be a blow up. It should be, if you've established that foundation, it should be a mutual part to where we can actually still have conversations as business partners about our kids. So that's why I asked, that's why I said, if we're best friends, I think that we could never grow out of that.
See, Ray, let me say this.
I don't think so.
You
don't think so?
When two people meet,
talk to me.
When two people meet, they basically indulge into one another. They come together. They're there with each other night and day. Spending all the time with each other, because in order for you to get from point A to point Z, which point Z is being that marriage, that person has to become that for you to necessarily say, I do. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some situations where people marry for lust, but for the most case, like when I say, when you talk about being married 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, you had that foundation. You built that foundation. It's just over the course of the time, there started to come cracks in that foundation. And those cracks was never fixed. So as it keeps going on, you keep getting more cracks to where now that foundation starts to split. When that foundation starts to split, man on one side, woman on the other side, it don't split so much, you can't put no putty or no super glue or nothing like that to bring it back. So I get what you're saying. Okay, we started as best friends, we should remain it. It don't happen that way, because through the course of the years, each crack that come in creates that division. And because the cracks keep going, you never took the time out to seal the first crack. So you lose that friendship that you're talking about. You lose it.
You do.
So that's why divorce, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times don't end in a civil way. Because once it gets to that point, it's like the gloves is off. You know, the gloves is off. And like I say, one person could look at it as, listen, man, we don't need to do this, we don't need to do that. But the other person will look at it another totally different way. And it all depends on what caused that divorce. It depends on how that person's feeling. You might say you done because you can't take it no more. She ain't. She still want the marriage, but you done. She gonna feel some type of way. Same way as the other shoe around. She tell you she done. You gonna be like, I don't want to lose you. Well, I'm done. She taking you to court, bro. Trust me, you gonna be in your feelings.
Been there, done that.
You gonna be in your feelings,
Been
bro.
there, done that. Yes.
So you know what I'm saying. So it don't end that way. That friendship starts to deteriorate.
So there's some fairy tale stuff on.
Yeah, you talking fairy tale. That's why I said sound.
It's straight movie.
It's somewhat. Some, not all of it, just somewhat.
It's
not technical.
Yeah.
But somewhat.
It's somewhat scripted.
It starts out that way, and that's how you want to start your marriage.
Yeah,
you want your significant other to be your best friend.
Yeah.
You want it that way. But if you don't fix those cracks, them cracks gonna keep coming.
Yeah.
To where it just divides that whole foundation. Mm-hmm. But it takes both parties to want to fix those cracks.
Yeah. Well, that's the key too.
That's the key.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you let them cracks get to a point to where it becomes detrimental,
like you said, they start spreading.
Oh man, it's gonna start spreading. Mm-hmm. So, it just that is we want it to where let's end peacefully and let's do this for the sake of our family. Let's be best friends. Let's be this. Trust me, bro. If that can happen, this world would be a better place.
Yeah. Emotions,
but if emotions get involved,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's why I say that, OG and DJ. That's why I keep, I guess, putting so much emphasis on this, because at the end of the day, I feel like, especially just speaking to my age, I'll be 30 in a minute. I think that's why a lot of men, they're scared because of that, because of they're not thinking about the beginning. They're not thinking about, the good time. They're thinking about, damn, I know this is going to end bad because of what we're talking about. It's like, look at the statistics. If anything, if this were to end bad, statistics show that we're at a 54% clip, I think it is, divorce rate. So it's already against us. The odds are against us.
Right.
So, and I know that, okay, the odds are against me. And I also know that if it does end, it's going to end bad. I just don't like, I guess
why do it?
Right. And that's exactly what men are, as far as, speaking for myself. It's like, damn, why would I even take myself through this and go through this, because I know it's going to end bad if it ends.
And that's what the issue is today, and a lot of men today feel that way. Like, why would I put myself through that when they feel, okay, year, 2 years, something happened, now I got to give this up. I got to give that up. Why? When, hell, I might stay with you for the next 10, 20 years, just not the title. I'm not saying women, I'm not saying.
That's why
I'm not saying, but
that's why I can't wait.
There's some women that would do it. Not saying you, but there's some, but I'm just saying that's how.
No, I've heard men say that. I've heard men say out their mouth say, I'm only staying with her until my child gets old enough to come live with me. He had 2 boys. Mm-hmm. He was like, I'm only staying with her. And I'm in my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, let that woman fly. Yeah. Like you wasting this woman, you wasted 10 years, 12 years of this woman's life. Because his plan was, when my child turned 10, 11, 12, I'm gonna start putting the plan in motion to move out and get my kids. And I'm like, so you're exactly right. It's a lot of men that think like that because they don't want nobody else raising their kids either.
But it's a lot of men that think like that as well because, again, they don't want nobody raising their kids, and they don't want to lose. So if they feel if they don't say I do, they can just walk away scot-free.
That's a problem.
I'm just being honest with you. They feel they can just walk away. Shit.
Does that hinder the way you love that woman?
It does.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. It does.
Yeah.
Because
what
for
y'all
one,
think?
For me, if that's your outlook on it, and you saying I'm just gonna chill with her for the next 20 years,
right,
then you truly not all in. You're not vested into this person.
You want to get married when you
know what I'm saying?
When you got to take the blue pill.
No, you got.
But that's how it happens.
You got a contingency. That's what it is. You have a contingency.
A contingency plan, yeah.
Contingency plan on how you're gonna be with this person, how you're gonna love that person. When, in all honesty, is if we coming together and I say I want to marry you, I want to marry you. If there's an issue to where I'm coming in this marriage with $5 million in my pocket and you coming in with $5 in your pocket, let's have a discussion. Here's what. You don't bring financially what I bring to the table. That's a sit down talk. And if that's so-called your best friend and y'all have grown to that, then that's an understanding two people can come to. If you come to that conversation, say, listen, if this was to happen such my time, sign this prenup, I'm gonna give you 500,000. Whatever. That's already done and set. So if that's already done and set, we already got that understanding, we can move forward. But then, you get some instances where men just don't even want to go that route. Men just don't want to feel like because in some cases, I don't know what's going on with these courts, but a lot of times men even lose with prenups, depending on what state you in.
Oh, yeah.
Prenups don't even matter.
Yeah. And it's like, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's like the number of years you were married.
Yeah. Prenups don't even matter. They ultimately, like I said, number of years.
Mm-hmm.
Some states, like in Florida, I think if it's 18 years, if you've been married for like 18 years, shit, that's almost like automatically alimony. It's like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So men been through it, that's related to other men, that's really scared of other men, and the man's like, over here now, I stand to lose too much.
Hold on. I'm gonna ask this question, OG. I know a lot of women gonna ask this question, and I gotta be the devil's advocate here. What about the men that ain't got shit?
That's a good question.
You know what? Zayden the Amazing said women do too. So I'm guessing.
That's why I say I'm playing devil's advocate.
I'm guessing.
What about the men that ain't got shit? What's their excuse?
They do.
What's their
There's
excuse?
women out there that may feel the same.
Yeah, you gotta go back to the other points you made. You made a lot of points, but we gotta understand that both parties benefit in a marriage,
Yes.
right?
Period.
Both parties benefit in a marriage.
If done right.
That is true, if done right. But I don't like the fact that men go into it thinking negatively, like the point that you made about them not wanting to do it because if I lose, I'm gonna lose big. Or but if you go into it thinking you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose.
Thank you. Yes.
You're gonna lose.
Laws of attraction.
Because whatever you think, whatever you speak is gonna be.
Yep.
So yes, I understand you have men talking about their marriage and lack thereof and going through a divorce and issues after issues, and they may intimidate or scare men who are considering marriage, but that might not be your story.
Right.
They may have married somebody who has daddy issues. They might have married somebody who don't know how to communicate, and they didn't see the signs.
Right.
Their life and their situation is not yours.
Exactly.
Right.
So you have to take charge of your own life, your own marriage, do what you need to do, counseling, whatever is necessary, and say, I'm not going to fail. This marriage is not going to fail. I'm going to make sure that we both keep pouring into each other.
That's the attitude.
And making this marriage work.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, men benefit a heck of a lot.
Talk to me.
Because a lot of good women out here put up with a lot of stuff. I know he said something about men earlier, but let me tell you something. Women
talk to them.
Women take a lot of stuff from men. Period. Going to the point about don't have nothing, don't work. You marry somebody who don't have a good credit score, but your credit score is good, and you put everything in your name. Now your credit messed up.
Yeah.
Now your credit messed up. You got to file bankruptcy just to get your head above water. Let's talk about that. Okay. They benefit a whole heck of a lot. You're talking about coming home and you got dinner cooked, your clothes washed. They take care of the kids. You come home, put your foot up on the table and drink your beer and watch football all doggone day.
Y'all
benefit.
Talk to them.
Y'all benefit. Or when we give y'all sex, we don't really feel like it. We had a long day, working all day, come home, take care of the kids. Now we gotta have sex with you. Okay?
Yes.
Okay? Not out of obligation because we're filling that role as a wife.
Right.
Y'all benefit a whole heck of a lot. Okay?
We do.
So let's not go there about men this, men that. Nobody perseveres like a woman. I don't care what you say. I don't care what day of the week it is. We take a lot of stuff and we keep on going, even when y'all cheating.
You do.
Because y'all be ready to run.
Outside kids.
Y'all be ready to run.
Outside kids.
When if a woman cheats, y'all ain't trying to hear.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all ain't trying to talk about it. Y'all ain't trying to go to counseling. None of that.
No,
none of that. For us,
she's right.
For us, we'll forgive y'all. We might give y'all some problem,
Yeah,
make it tough for
absolutely,
y'all.
absolutely.
But we right there
As you should.
because we want it to work.
Mhm.
Period.
That proves alone that you want it to work.
Man, y'all benefit a whole heck of a lot. I don't want to hear that, man.
You do.
Y'all benefit a heck of a lot.
We do.
A heck. Now, if you got a good one, a good one.
No. Repeat that.
If you got a good one,
Thank
Yes.
you.
because I want.
So,
Yeah.
If you got a good one, because I'm gonna go through the fire. I'm gonna go through the brim. I'm gonna go through all of that to
But
make
we
it
have,
work.
but like you asked me on one of the shows, us
Hmm.
men have turned good women into bad ones.
Absolutely.
And that's the issue too.
Absolutely.
Because now you got the bad ones, we've scarred y'all so much, y'all are outweighing the good ones. And the reason that you see men acting the way they acting
Hmm.
is because you got so many women out here now that are saying, if I can't beat them, join them.
Mhm.
So men are out here basically messing around, doing whatever they want to do with no consequences.
Right.
Because I know I can go find a woman that'll be with the shit. Excuse my language.
Oh yeah.
She'll be with it
Oh yeah.
because she's been scarred so much.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like, you know what? As long as he bringing a check in this house, I don't care what he do. Bring a check in the house, make my life more comfortable. Give me some wine when I want it, and we good.
Some what?
Some wine. Some
is
wine.
that.
But my point was, though, OG, is that that's why a lot of men, that's another reason why a lot of men are not getting married either, is because they know it's like, why have one when I can have two? That's cool with it. They know about each other. And it's not downing the good woman. It's that we've scarred y'all so much that it's like a lot of good women have just said, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting my heart broken. So you know what? I like him. He cool. He has a good job. Only thing is he can't keep his penis in his pants. So you know what I'm gonna do?
So they settle.
Exactly. A lot of women are settling, and that's why men are going for the woman that settles now. Because I know I can have my cake and eat it too. And I'm just spilling the beans. Don't mind me. I'm just spilling the beans. I know the men will be mad, but I'm just being honest with you women. That's why the good woman has taken a back seat, because the good woman used to outweigh the bad woman. It used to be we only could get with this type of woman after midnight. You know what I mean? Now this woman all on IG, she telling you she taking your man.
But we require effort.
This is true.
We require a whole lot. And you have a lot of women nowadays you don't gotta do too much for anything.
That's my point.
So yes, we get
That's
overlooked
my point.
because you gotta put in work. We're not gonna just go for the regular old Joe.
But it's like the man has gotten to the point of saying, why, let alone a relationship, but a marriage, why would I go down that route when I got 3 on the penis roll right now? That ain't giving me they ain't giving me no issues.
Nah.
Nobody each other now. I'm at work and they're at the house together now. All I'm saying is that a lot of men have bought into the non-traditional style now because of what we just talked about, because they look like this is a low risk, high reward. That's exactly what it is. It's low risk, high reward.
But it's short term though.
It usually is.
It's short term.
Let me say this.
It usually is.
We gotta understand times have changed. Back in the 80s and the 90s, bro, we had to work.
What you mean? Oh, you talking about, yeah.
Listen, we had to put in some work.
Good woman, bad woman.
Now I am talking good woman, just alone. You know what I'm saying? Like the way our society is now, you can walk outside and get sex.
Oh, easy.
You know what I'm
All day
saying?
long.
Back in the 80s and 90s, bro,
All day long.
trust me, no one did like that. As a man, you had to put in some work. You had to know how to romance a woman. You had to learn how to wind it down a woman. Like you had to learn how to be a man.
Court her.
Court her.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't no shit, it's a 3-day rule. Shit, you 6 months, 7 months, 8 months? Oh, you gotta put in work for something.
But that's my point, though. That's what I'm saying about the women. Like,
Yeah, but nowadays things are so watered down. It's so easy for a man, like how you say. So if it's that easy, then why?
That's when the light bulb goes.
Why get married?
Yeah, why? I'm not talking for me. I'm just talking men in general.
Yes.
Because you want something with some substance. That's
But
why.
But that's my point.
That's why.
But for a lot of men, the substance is just that. If I can get that, and I can just go ahead, come, get my fix, keep it moving, that's their substance. Why?
That sex is not substance.
I'm telling you, for a lot of men it is. That's
And
why
that's
a
all
lot
she
of,
got to offer.
and that's why a lot of men is not saying I do,
Mm.
because they can get the sex at any corner, round the corner, up the corner, at 3 stoplights back to back. They can get it anywhere.
But that doesn't create a good relationship. Sex alone is not creating a
You're right,
relationship.
sis, and that's why we got a lot of divorce now. Because a lot of people married because of the sex.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Absolutely.
You gotta
That's
get
a
more
fact.
I'm
than
being
that.
honest with you.
Yeah, but you gotta get more than that.
A lot
You
of
gotta get
people
more than that.
married because of the lust. They get into it,
Mhm.
and it's the lust in the beginning part. They even take the time to get to even know that
Best
individual.
friends.
But they get married into lust. Now they done been together. Now I'm sleeping right next to you.
Right.
Now every day you coming home to me.
Mhm.
Now I'm getting to see you for you.
Mhm.
Nah, that shit, look at that no more,
Can't even hold
boy.
a decent conversation.
Damn,
Right.
you know, can
That's
you,
what y'all
can
be thinking
you
too,
talk to me
right?
tonight?
Can't even hold a decent
Yeah.
conversation.
Right.
Anything you gonna say? You just gonna lay in this bed and
Yeah,
just
that's
say
it. Because that's what it started on.
Exactly.
That's what it started on.
So a lot of, but saying that's how a lot of men are nowadays. That's why a lot of men are not rushing to get married.
Mm.
That's part of the reason. Because they like for what? Let me just keep it real with you. Men are like for what?
Mhm.
I get the
That's my
goddamn
point.
whole cow.
No, not really.
Not from you, but I'm telling you, men can get the whole cow.
Well, you want me to tell you that here's the kicker though, OG. Here's why it's gonna backfire on our community. Because this is not how it's supposed to be operated. Because you're exactly right. That's my point I was making. But
Mhm.
Jay made a point and said it's not gonna last long.
It's
And the
not.
reason it's not because when we get ready to have to start taking the blue pills, guess what she gonna do? Go get her somebody younger. And the cycle continues. So what I'm saying is that the light bulb sometimes don't go off for us men until that blue pill come into place and we realize like, dude, you gotta bring something more besides some good wine. You gotta bring something more to the table than that. If you don't want to die alone,
Somewhat.
some good wine, you gotta bring more. But see, that's the thing though.
But women have to offer more than that too.
That's the
But
Women
y'all- hold on.
have to offer
It's
more than that
in
too.
y'all's defense though, I'm gonna be honest. Y'all start off that way. That's why I say
more.
we know for a fact that women mature way faster than we do.
Mhm.
They're
Of
thinking about
course.
family, they're thinking about marriage at a young age. That's what I mean by that. Y'all are ready for that. But by the time y'all go through 3 or 4 heartbreaks, dude done got you pregnant, ran off, can't hear, you don't even hear from him no more.
Mhm.
Dude done came, hit you with a one night stand, he don't even answer the phone no more. By the time you go through that gauntlet,
Mhm.
you've changed, you've morphed into something else.
Mhm.
And that is the dangerous woman that we're scared of.
Uh-huh.
Because we can't decipher. Because we hear your story, we're like, damn, he took you through that. But then when we get ready to say, you know what, I want to go steady with her, it's like, what we talked about a couple of shows ago. She hasn't even addressed these issues.
Right.
So that's why I always say, me and OG was talking in the barbershop. He was saying, me and him disagreed on something about how men, we don't contribute as much to these issues. And that's why I told him I beg to differ because we contribute just as much as y'all do. Because again, we took you through the gauntlet. You tried this 3-4 times. You was getting the same thing from every single dude. He wanted you for your body. He lied to you though. Told you he didn't.
Mhm.
One of them got you pregnant.
Mhm.
Now you can't find him.
Mhm.
Now you can't even get child support from him.
Mhm.
It's the same story you heard from your aunties, from your sisters,
Mhm.
from your friends. So that's why I say we're equally involved in this. But like I always say, we both got to realize we're suffering from the same damn issue. Men, we're scared to get married because of the women we've created.
Mhm.
Period.
Mhm.
That's the problem. We can't be scared of the monster we created. You better learn how to deprogram her ass. That's what you better do because you're the one programmed her. So we can't sit back and continue to complain about something we had a hand in creating. That woman that's hard now, that has that masculinity problem, that doesn't know how to dumb that masculinity down in the household, and you don't feel much of a man, well, you know what you should do? You should take a look in the mirror. Because most of us don't even deserve to be the head of a household because we were never showed how to be the head of a household. We were never able to witness it. And the same thing with the woman. she wouldn't know a man if it walked by her because she never seen one.
Right.
They suffering from the same thing. Y'all are. And I'm not saying all women, I'm talking about it from a general standpoint. What's killing our community is we got to stop and say, you know what? Stop pointing the finger. Like I always say, this is what the show for. Stop pointing the finger. We got to realize, like, damn, you're like that because the father was not there.
Mm-hmm.
But hold on. The man is like that because he was just raised by a woman. That's why he's sitting there arguing with you like that.
Mm.
That's why he's so emotional with you, because he was just raised by a woman. But OG made a point, and OG, I want to bring it up. When I was at the barbershop that OG said something very important. He said the women will complain about us. And we've had a couple of generations that have been under this system so far.
Mhm.
The women will complain about us, but what they got to realize is, baby, you the one raising us. And I'm specific about the women that won't let that man see that child.
Mm.
I'm specifically talking about the woman that keeps making excuses and telling that child that they daddy ain't I'm talking about that woman.
Or not letting they fathers be your fathers.
Right.
You know, you taking away
The
that.
ones
Yes.
that want to be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the ones that want to be, you know, you taking away his voice, you taking away his time, you know, but then you turn around and saying, I can't find no good man, I want a good man. Well, how you expect something, you want a good man, but you putting shit out in the universe to bless you with a good man. You putting, I don't mean that in disrespectful way. What I'm saying is, here it is, you're cheating your own child, you're cheating your own son.
Yes.
And you're not allowing the father to raise him to become a man. In return, you're continuing to feed him that emotional side when he needs that masculinity side. So what happens is you continue to basically take care of that grown ass man. 30 years old, you paying his bills. He need this, mama here, mama there. But then you'll turn around and say, man, these dudes out here trifling. They be wanting people to pay their bills. Now, well, you raised one the same way. You get what I'm saying? So it's a cycle.
And the bottom line, what OG saying, y'all, we ain't got no business getting married. That dude he talking about that's getting taken care of by his mom at 30 years old, he got no business getting married.
He don't, because he don't
address his
understand.
issues. He don't even understand
He
about
don't
being a
understand.
man. So again, we're not pointing the fingers at the woman.
No, we not.
And we're not pointing fingers at the man. We're pointing fingers at each other, because we got to come together and have this conversation. We got to talk about this. We got to actually say, you know what? At some point, the cycle got to stop. And the only way the cycle gonna stop is if we start giving a better example to our kids. Because what do we say? They duplicate their environment.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what they do.
Yes.
So until we get that wholesome household,
Right.
till we get that and start showing our kids that, they're not gonna do that. So that's what OG's saying. What you got to realize, people, particularly women, because you're the head of the household in most cases, you got to realize that that man you dogging, that man you talking about, he was once a little boy that was in his room, that was lost, that wanted to see his dad. He was once a little boy that was reaching out to people, crying out to people. Nobody heard his cry because he didn't know how to articulate what hurt him, what got him to this point. So that man was once that boy, and in most cases, I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate to say this, but in most cases, we still that little boy because we never addressed the issue.
Right.
So again, going back to the topic, does marriage benefit men? In our community, it don't benefit nobody because we ain't doing the shit right. And when I say doing shit right, it's very subjective because my way ain't your way. But I do know positive when I see positive. And that's all I'm talking about. Positive things in motion. If you ain't doing that, you ain't doing something right. So, DJ, I just want to ask you, like, what do you think is the most misunderstood thing when it comes to a woman wanting to spend the rest of her life with a man? What do you think we misunderstand the most? Like, what do you think we don't get about y'all? Like, because I feel like that's an issue too. There's a wedge. It's like a competition. It's a battle of the sexes. Like, what do you think that there is? Like, do you think there's something that we just miss, because me and OG talk about it all the time, like we want to feel appreciated.
Mhm.
So what do you think? As far as like, how do you, in your circle of women, what do y'all talk about?
Not being valued,
Mm.
not being heard, being taken for granted. It's big. When you constantly have expectations of us, but we're running on empty because we give, because we're nurturers. You know, so we give, and there's some men that just take, and they take, and they take, and they take, and we're still trying to give, but we haven't received any deposits.
Nobody pour. He's not pouring anything.
Nah, so we run on fumes.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, and I know if I've had conversations with women about the same thing, like we shouldn't have to ask y'all for certain things.
True.
If we both work and the woman comes home majority of the time and take care of the kids and cook and clean the kitchen and do all this stuff, why don't you take care of it sometime?
Right.
We shouldn't have to ask you for that.
Right. You should.
Like you give us a night off from doing homework with the kids and make sure they have a bath and going to bed and cooking and cleaning the kitchen. Just do it. Because that's showing us that, oh, you pay attention. You want to take the load off of me for a day.
Right.
You know,
your value.
Right. Yeah. I appreciate what you do Monday through Sunday. Yeah. Let me take a day off and just let you just come home and go. And you take a bubble bath.
Forget about us.
You go, I bring you your food.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they get so accustomed and used to us doing. They don't even take a moment to think about, well, let me do something for her. So that in turn makes us tired and like you don't appreciate us and we feel taken for granted. And now we're starting to get angry. Now we're starting to get bitter. Now it's become more of a chore than me just wanting to take care of my family. Now it's a chore because I'm the only one putting in all this work and I work just like you do.
Right.
Now, in a traditional setting, if I'm not working a 9-to-5 job, I'll number time.
Right.
It's okay for me to cook and clean and do all that because I don't work a 9-to-5, traditionally speaking.
But I still need to give you a day off.
Yeah, but the man's working, you know, all the time. I get it.
I still need to give you because it goes.
Just to show appreciation. But what I'm saying is because we both work, it just seems like a man still expects all of this stuff. Not saying that we're not going to fulfill our role as a wife, but what I'm saying is it'll make it a lot more smoother if the man shows more appreciation for that wife in certain situations. Right. You know, instead of us always planning a trip, you plan a trip. Yeah. You do it. Instead of us planning, instead of us planning a romantic getaway, you plan it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just effort. It's just effort. It's the little things. It doesn't always have to be money or centered around money. It's the little things. It's the little things.
I can get a piece of construction paper.
You can leave me a card on my steering wheel. Mm-hmm. You can send me flowers to my job. You can, let me tell you something. I'm telling you how simple I am. I like Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Right?
I'll get you a cup of coffee.
If we meet in the morning, we going somewhere. As soon as I meet up with you, you got my favorite coffee in your hand. Something as simple as that. It's something really small. Yeah. It don't take a whole lot of thought, but it takes thought. It takes intention. You got to be intentional. Mm-hmm. Women are more intentional about things.
You are.
You might have a handful of men that are romantic and they're intentional and they're thoughtful and they put forth the effort. A handful. Right. But it's not the majority. Women do that majority of the time. We think about y'all. We want to make y'all smile. We want to make y'all day. But how many men make ours?
We don't know how to do.
So, dude, let me.
I'm just saying. Do something. Put some work in. Do something. Do something.
Let me say this. And ladies out there in the audience, I want you to hear me. I need y'all to understand this. Let me break this down because it kind of goes back to our last topic as well. Everything Diva just said is correct. But you know what the issue is? The problem is we grow up as little boys and all we seen for 18 years is our mother hold everything down, take care of it all. Our mother is that superwoman. So we see that. That is embedded in us as men. In return, men seek that in their wives. So when a man marries, that is something that, if you want to say, he expects because he was raised in it. Every man was raised in it. There ain't no man in this world that wasn't raised in it. He had his mama, he was raised into that. That's all he saw. So that is a generational curse or deficiency, if you want to say it as that, because that's all we saw. So we don't necessarily know how to say, "Man, I got it," because all we see mama do it.
Get out the way.
Get out.
I got this.
I got this. Because even as a kid, when we try to help, mama want to get it done. So mama, a lot of times, I ain't got time to show you. I got it. Just move out the way.
Yeah.
Now for me, I got it when my mama sat me down and broke everything down to me on what she dealt with as far as raising us.
Communication.
Exactly. That's what made me get it and it triggered with me on her sacrifice, on how she said she gave up everything that she gave up for me and my brother. I wouldn't have known that. All I would have saw was Superwoman.
Right.
This is what Superwoman do. So in my eyes, I see Superwoman do this, and I see my daddy do that. You know what I'm saying? So women, I know you might not want to, but that's why when you say you shouldn't have to tell us that, when actually sometimes you do.
Teach me how to love.
You got to teach me. You got to show me from a different perspective because all I saw is my mama. That's all I know. I don't know no different. So yeah, I'm gonna need you to talk to me and say, well, babe, let's work something out. I work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. These are your kind of slow days. You think you take care of the kitchen on Tuesday?
Yeah, some of us.
And I guarantee you, that man be okay. I got you. We need that. You get what I'm saying? Because we don't know. That's speaking truth. We don't know.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We don't know because that's all we saw.
That is definitely true. And I'll say this: when I was younger, I think one of the things that kind of sunk into my head when my mom used to tell me, she was always telling me, I can't teach you how to be a man, but I'm gonna teach you, how to not need nobody. Not to have to depend on nobody. So, all the cooking, the cleaning,
Right.
folding clothes, washing clothes, all that, I got it down packed. But it kind of hindered me because as I grew older, I just started thinking like, what the hell do I need a woman for now? If I know how to do all this, what the hell do I need a woman for? But I never understood her. Well, I guess she never articulated it to me, but I never understood the importance of having that partner as well to share it with. Because it ain't all about the duties. The duties are just part of maintenance. But it's the sharing of the life. That's the most important part of the marriage to me. That's why I look at it different. That's why I say I'm only going to do it once. That's why it's taking me this long. I'm only going to have one wife. Y'all may think I'm crazy. People know me. They know how I roll. I ain't never getting no divorce once I do it. I'm telling you right now, never. You can send me the paperwork. The deputy can show up at my job. All that. I'm throwing them right in the trash.
Gotta change your mindset,
because
man.
I'm playing
Gotta
the
change your mindset.
season. I'm playing the season before I do it. Yes, this is what I want. This is what I'm taking the time to see if this is what I want. So this is what I'm gonna do. So I say that to say this. I'm gonna ask y'all this before we get to the audience. Before we get to I want to ask y'all this because I know we're open book or whatever. Do y'all see yourselves doing it again?
Yeah.
Going down that road again? Like, do you think it's that beneficial? With the experiences and things, and the reason I'm asking you this is for the people that have been like me, that have been frightened, been scared, because y'all been through it. You know what I mean? Like y'all done came out the fire. You're still here. You look healthy to me. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't seem like it didn't kill you. So will you?
I mean, my thoughts have changed from when I got divorced to now. Because when I was going through my divorce, I was like, I'm not doing this. Never again. I'm good. I'm done. I'm straight.
Right.
But as time went on, as you heal, as you go through counseling, you see things a bit differently. And I know for a fact that we were not made to be here alone. We're made to go through this world together with a partner. It has been proven. Well, I'm gonna say proven. It has been studied.
You can say that.
It has been studied. And there are a lot of scientists out there who have done their research, and men have healthier lives and live longer when they have somebody, when they're married, as opposed to a single man, because of that nurturer and different things from their spouse. So that, I mean, we're meant to be with somebody,
So
you know. So I will say, I'm not going to say I'll never do it again, but what I will say is that it has to be right. Meaning, me and that person have to have a whole different dynamic than what I had the first time.
Right.
Like, our communication has to be on a different level. Right. Our bond has to be on a different level. Our finances have to be on a different level. It just has to be totally different. And if it is that way, I have no problem doing it, because I feel like I am wife material. I feel like that I know that I am going to be that wife that makes my husband better. Right. I know I'm going to be that wife that's going to help build, something of substance and leave for our kids. Right. I am that wife, and I know that, but I'm not going to do it for a boyfriend. So
we're too old for boyfriend.
So if I have someone where we're aligning the same, definitely would do it again. But what I won't do is waste my time. I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm not gonna bring more to the table. I'm not going to pour more into him than me. Right. I'm not doing that anymore.
You're not ignoring any red flags.
None of it.
Yeah, you're running from the red
flags.
None
of it. Because if you don't see my value, I'm wasting my time.
Right.
You should have seen my value from the beginning. Yeah. Because not too many of us left. So I'm trying to tell you, it's not too many of us left. So if you're looking for a woman of substance and value, and you don't recognize that, and maybe that's not what you want. Right. Because some men don't want that. Some men want what OG said. They just want to have a good time and keep it moving. And that's fine. But I'm not the one for you. Right. Because I need substance. Right. I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life. I want to have that partnership. I want to build with somebody. I want to take trips and do family things together. But if you're looking for a good time, that's not me. Right. So if I find somebody and we're on the same page, I'm all for it. But if not, I don't mind being by myself, meaning being single for the rest of my life. If that's what it is.
You're not sacrificing your happiness.
Because I sacrificed too much before. I gave too much of myself and sacrificed too much before, and I refuse to do it again. So
that's just buddy on whoever it is. You gotta come with it.
You gotta come with it.
For sure. And for me, marriage is a beautiful thing, man. When you can have two people come together,
I'm glad you said that.
You know what I'm saying, and become one and build and grow. I mean, that's the most wonderful thing in this world to me.
Right.
But like Diva say, man, you got to be two people that's willing to pour into each other.
Got to.
It can't be one pouring a glass half full and the other one full. It just can't. And like she said, it has to be substance. It has to be more than just a physical attraction.
Right.
You got to provide a lot more. Like, again, C-Red, like how you said, for me, or the next time I do it, trust me.
That's it.
Yeah. Don't send no paper. Ain't no paperwork, none of that. Yeah,
we locked in.
That's it.
We are locked in.
That's it.
That's exactly why, next time I'm making sure, whoever it is, hey, you understand that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. This is where we at.
We got to get in the ring with some boxing gloves on. We're going to duke it out. Yes.
Trust me, marriage when you experience, you'll see. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. As long as you and that person on the same team,
right.
Trust me, that's the key thing.
Glad you said that.
Same team, and when that turn comes to where you or the other person starts to evolve differently, you got to have that communication. Because if you don't, you're going to get lost. You know what I'm saying? That person going to be lost.
Right.
Because we don't stay the same.
You're
We change.
supposed to
You-
change.
change. You're supposed to
You're
change.
supposed to.
You know what I'm
supposed to
saying? But the
change.
problem is with that change, there's no communication.
Yeah.
So people can't understand. A lot of people don't understand that change.
Right.
A lot of people ain't receptive to that change.
We're not even explaining ourselves.
Not
how
even-
we
And your
change.
needs
So,
change
yeah,
as you get older. You don't have the same needs.
that is a key factor.
Your needs change. So as your needs change, you have to communicate that to your partner because they may be fulfilling your old needs
Mhm.
and your old love language. Love language has changed too.
Yes. Yes.
You got any comments?
What we got over there, man?
We got like 1,723 comments.
Oh, that's great. That's
Um,
wonderful.
Shelly Williams Boyd said the same thing. Men be going in with the glass half empty,
Right.
not
Mhm.
full,
Yeah.
Half empty. Yeah.
half empty.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. We the ones fill it up. Let's be
And,
real with it though. Women fill that glass
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
I ain't gonna disagree with that.
You do. You damn sure do.
She said, men like to take the easy route
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times.
And that goes
You
into
know
what
what
we
I'm
were saying about the easy route, about just, I got 2 or 3 here that ain't giving me that little feedback, and
Right.
I can just hit them and keep on moving, and they don't care. You're right. That is the easy route.
And our brother Jonathan is always in the building.
Appreciate
Hey,
you, Jay.
Jonathan.
He said the easy route will fall over when the storm comes.
Yes.
It's about foundation and substance that stands the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
as a mankind, we got to do better.
Yep.
We got to want more from ourselves and not expect more from the other person without, than we do ourselves.
I was about to say, before we can expect something from this.
Right. Not being selfish and listen.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Both
right.
sides.
Yeah.
True, Shelly. True, Shelly.
Yes.
Very true.
And men got to learn to love ourselves, love the women the same way we love ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's from my brother Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say this.
Talk to me.
So, my grandparents raised me. I've never seen them argue a day in my life.
Right.
A day in my life. Went to go live in New York when I was young. My mother, she with, her husband, total different story. Stayed with my grandmother in New York for a while. I never knew what he was. Ever. I don't know if it's step-grandfather, grandfather. No one ever told me. From there, went to Columbus, Georgia with my father. Total different story. Went back to South Carolina to my family. It was death. That's when it was over, when my grandmother died. So I saw it from a lot of different spectrums.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Different
And-
examples.
Right. So I'm in the same realm as you. I'd rather take the necessary steps, whatever it takes, how long it takes. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it one time. That's it.
One time on.
Right. And it's way different from the mind frame I had when I was younger.
Right.
Things change, your needs change, mind frame change.
Right.
Deeper J, I feel what you're saying. You gotta, it's 2 glasses. You gotta continue to pour into each other. That's like the number one problem.
Yep.
People don't realize.
Yep.
So on both sides,
Mm-hmm.
Because we definitely
So-
failed to pour into you guys.
Right.
As men, we do.
Well, there's another comment I want to make. I know we have to wrap up, but dang, I forgot my point just that quick. Something that you just said.
About what? Pouring into the cup with the.
It's gonna come back to me. I hate in my mind. It'll come back. But go
Okay.
ahead.
All right.
But we got. But hold up,
go ahead.
Miss Natalie Wolf was chiming in a lot, and she said, her husband, they down for each other. They might not be the best, but they continue to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
They listen to each other, always agree. She had great parents. She was taught. Mother was Superwoman,
Mm-hmm.
so, but dad was Superman. And it, yeah.
Oh, I remember now.
What's that?
The point you made about you never seen your parents, your grandparents argue. So it's 2 points. So the grandparent comment, and remind me about the Superwoman comment in a second.
Right.
So with that, that's not always a good thing because children need to see in a home how to handle conflict.
Right.
So if we always keep the argument away and the conflict away, then when they get into relationships and marriages and the conflict comes up, they're not gonna know how to handle it because they've never seen anyone solve a conflict or come to a resolution on anything.
Yep.
So I'm not saying go all out cussing and going off in front of the
Right.
kids, but they should see, okay, well, mommy and daddy had disagreement.
And they just
Mommy
back
said
together.
this, I apologize for making you feel XYZ. Daddy said da da da.
right.
So now when they get into a relationship and moving into marriage, okay, well, I saw mommy and daddy do it this way. So listen, hey, I hear what you're saying, da da da.
Yes.
Because we can't keep
Yes.
reality from our kids.
You can't.
Because it's really harming them, doing more harm than good, because when they get in a relationship, they don't know how to handle it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the first point. Other point about the superwoman, I get it. Because my mom is a superwoman. So I get seeing a single parent in a home, doing everything, handling everything. I get it. But what I want y'all to understand is that same superwoman that you have seen in your household still needs someone to take care of them.
Oh,
No, you're right. You're
So
absolutely right.
even though I know and that's what your environment was, and I do agree, it does need communication. Hey, I need this from you. You know, can you do this? But I want the men to know your superwoman that you marry or about to marry still needs someone to take that load off of them. Period. Whether they tell you or not, I'm telling you. They need that. They need that time. They need that space. They need that relief because we do so many things and carry so many burdens.
Yeah.
And when we're a superwoman for our kids as a single parent, when we get married, we want to release that burden sometimes.
yes.
That's all I'm saying.
And
That's all I'm saying.
DVJ, you 100% correct. You know, like we said, everything is communication.
Mm-hmm.
Because just as a man, we're taught to be go-getters.
Mm-hmm.
We're taught to be providers. And that's our mentality.
Right.
So what we see is the woman taking care of the household. The man take care of everything outside the household to bring in to make sure the household runs correctly.
Right.
That is what we see. That was how we were raised. That's what traditionally we taught.
Mm-hmm.
So unless sometimes things are communicated, we don't know.
Right. I get
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
I get
So
that.
you know, for me, I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm not trying to down anybody. But men and women, we have to understand that it's our responsibility to talk to our kids about things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially single parent.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, you're not understanding, like, for men, we gotta be mindful. When you have a daughter, you cannot set the bar to where it can never be reached.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot. You know what I'm saying? It's actually unfair
To her.
to her and to whoever she dates.
Mm-hmm.
Because she gonna look at this man to be her father, to be her dad. She's looking at her image of her dad. That's who she basically wants to marry. But if you set that bar so high, well, she ain't gonna never find it.
Or if you don't set a bar,
Or
period.
you don't set a bar, period.
Bars are not
You know what I'm
being
saying?
set.
Or you don't set it, you're right.
She don't know what a man look
She
like.
don't know what a man look like.
Bars are
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
not being set.
And vice versa.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For mothers and their sons.
Right.
You know, mothers, you gotta stop coddling babying these boys. You gotta have these boys make them have accountability.
Mm-hmm.
If they do something wrong, give them that accountability. When they get to a certain age, you gotta make them become a man. You can't keep babying them. You can't keep spoiling them. You can't keep doing this and doing that. No, you got to grow up.
Yep.
Because again, we are the ones that are supplying the next generation.
Right.
When that next generation comes, whatever we have stored in them, they're gonna supply to that generation.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the cycles. This how, like Risa said, this last conversation ties into this conversation because again, that's why a lot of men will feel or they question is marriage benefit for them. Because there's a lot of cycling that's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of men feeling like, nah, we break a lot of cycles to where we get it back to where marriage is the key. Marriage is sacred. Marriage is the goal. And we value it. That's like I was watching Life. And when Mark Lawrence is in the restaurant with Sanaa Layton, he just got a job. good paying job, working at the bank.
Yeah, working
Start
at
that
the
first year
bank,
bank
yeah.
on Monday
Bank
morning.
teller. Yeah.
Bank teller.
Yeah.
First thing, you know, he was like, you know, I got a surprise for you. Automatically. We finna make it do what it do now. We finna get married. We finna start a family. We finna grow. Mom was like, nah, I just brought you this little thing.
Yeah.
I just brought you a little thing here. But back in those days, that's how it was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we lost that concept. We lost all that. Through the generation, man, those values was just swept away. So now, be honest, we got a lot of BS. But we have to bring some, I ain't gonna say all, but we still have to have some of that old school tradition to make marriages work
Right.
and continue to work. You know what I'm saying?
So the bottom line
Yeah.
is, y'all, before we wrap this thing up, bottom line is that marriage can benefit not only men, not only women, the children as well. It can benefit all of us if we just take the proper steps.
Oh, yeah.
Do it right.
Oh yeah.
Do it with someone you can see yourself spending the rest of your life with.
Right.
It can benefit all of us. So the answer I have to the question is, does marriage benefit me? Hell yeah, it does. It benefits all of us. It benefits the community too. It benefits people that you love because you're an example now
Right.
of the people that are not married in your family. Now they can look at you and say, yeah, I can do that too. So yes,
Right.
marriage is beneficial to men,
Right.
to women, and the kids you create as well. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So moving along, you guys chime in the comment section too. You know, we'll chop it up with you, get in the comment section. But before we close the thing out, just a reminder: circlefullapparel.com. Go there, shop. Creatively Yours candles. Go there, shop as well. Everything will be in the description box. Follow us on IG, YouTube, Facebook as well. Comfortably Uncomfortable, Uncomfortable with the K.
Right.
Follow us. We're gonna get right on to the flowers. And I guess my flowers today is gonna go to some homies that I do have married. That is Ant Williams, that is Leon Cummings, that is Corey King, that is Jonathan Simmons. I'm forgetting a couple of people, but these are guys, a couple of these guys, I was in their wedding. But these are guys that I graduated with, went to high school with, played ball with. They have been great examples to me of it can still be done. These are black men. And I've looked at them. I just want y'all to know I don't speak about it a lot, but I observe you guys. And you guys give me hope. You motivate me to keep going and keep searching, keep trying to get to the point where you guys are. I know, and I know some things that I don't see. I know it ain't easy. I know a lot of things that go on behind closed doors that make you probably want to quit and all that, but you haven't.
Right.
You haven't. You got, all y'all got kids. Y'all are raising these kids in a balanced home. And I just want to commend y'all for that. And any other man that's out there that's sticking with their family, that is there saying, you know what? Not only do I want to be here for the kids, but I want to be here for her too. I commend y'all. I just want to give y'all my flowers, and I thank you guys.
Goes on me?
Yes, on you.
Oh, okay. So tonight I want to give my flowers to my 9th grade ELA team at Heritage High School.
What team?
9th grade ELA.
Explain that a little bit.
English.
Okay.
English.
Gotcha.
Language arts.
Gotcha.
At Heritage High School, they make my day go so much smoother. We laugh, we talk, we love on the kids, and it's just good to work with a great group of people. So I want to say thank you all for making my day each and every day. Thank you for your contribution to society by inspiring these kids, because we actually do care and we want to see our students succeed, and y'all make it so much better each and every day because we all work as a cohesive unit to make these children successful. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for everything that you do each and every day. Those are my flowers.
English,
9th grade. 9th grade English.
yes, 9th grade English department. What's happening?
My flowers tonight go to all my clientele.
Hey.
Yeah, you. 13
Man,
years, baby.
without you guys, man, I don't know if it's a me. You know, I know my job is to keep you guys fresh, keep your appearance A1, but what I gain in return is priceless. Just the conversations, like again, a barber is a therapist,
Yes.
whatever,
All of that.
all of that. You name all, I'm that.
Yep.
But what's crazy is a lot of times, my clientele are therapists with me.
Yeah.
So I just want to tell everybody I appreciate everyone. I thank y'all for sticking with me and allowing me to be your barber. I love you guys, and that's it.
All right. Well, Vigo, you got any flowers you want to give out today, man?
You know it, man.
Talk to me.
My flowers today. All my brothers that I met 2003 at Savannah State.
Okay.
I'm one of them.
Bostic Hall.
Bostic Hall, baby.
Yeah.
212. What you was 213?
Yeah.
212, room 212, baby.
We're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
See, I grew up, I have siblings, but unfortunately I didn't get the chance to grow up with them. So I didn't know anything about brotherhood and camaraderie, and they taught me that. And to this day, whether we spoke 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago, it's still the same love.
Right.
And see, Red, you're actually the first that I met when I got to Savannah State.
I never forget, because I was already there because I was playing football.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to let you know I'm proud of you, bro. You had a vision, you went for it. A lot of times people see how I move, they want to move the same way, they pitch something to me. I test them. All right, go do this. Come back to me when you're ready. Never come back. I did the same thing. I say, bro, go set this up, set that up. Come back when you're ready. You came back. Now we're here. So, much love and respect to all my brothers.
Yes, sir, man. All y'all. Yes, sir. All right. Flowers out of the way. We appreciate y'all, man. We just want to say thank you to y'all, all the support, man. This is just the beginning.
Right.
Episode 8, it's now it's comfortable now. We family now.
Yeah.
It's just like we sitting in the living room talking.
That's it.
So stay tuned, y'all. We're gonna have some things going. We got some things coming up that we're gonna need your support at, and you can actually come out and attend this thing physically as well. But we'll give you the details. Just stay tuned.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe, share, and make sure you stay tuned too, because we definitely want to see you guys. We want to meet you in person.
Right.
Take pictures, kiss babies, shake hands. You want to do all that. So just stay tuned for an announcement. We're gonna have that coming up once we get a couple more things ironed out. But we just want to thank you guys, and go around the table, clear our throats. Anything else we need to say? Anything else we want to say to the people? Well,
just keep seeking growth.
Yes,
keep seeking growth.
Keep seeking growth.
Well, on behalf of Comfortably Uncomfortable podcast, we want to thank you. Until next time, which will be next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, we back.
Next Wednesday.
Subscribe and share.
Like.
We
Y'all
out.
have a good night.
Yes.
Each one teach one, each one seek one. Pass the word.
Yeah.
Pass the word.
And I'm like, who the hell?
Oh man.
Yeah.
What?
Mhm.